got it?
What's up, guys? Lord Beardo bringing you a brand new Clash of Clans video. And guys, we're gonna get into the personal side of Clash of Clans. We have a lot to go over this entire video. We're gonna get into the spring update that just came out with the balance change. I think it's like the first of the new wave of Clash of Clans that'll be coming, but check this out. Look at how much loot I got in my collectors. I got marooned. My buddy's car broke down and it pretty much left me unable to play the game for like 3 days, I want to say. Missed an entire war and it was pretty upsetting to miss the war. I came home, I'm about to go on, look through the account, be like, oh, feel so bad. I knew we were gonna lose it. I think there's even somebody who commented on one of these past videos like, oh, good luck in the war. So I was excited to video the whole thing, and I come and the season's over, the war's over, but we actually won the war. Oh, so good. Loot Nation locking it down. Props to everybody. Donate Kings. Didn't even get a chance to look at the replays or anything in this war. I had nothing for you guys in this war other than the fact that we pulled this out with me and Pac-Man, who I was not able to talk to find out why he didn't hit, and my young account didn't hit. We still won. Such a good feeling. Oh man, props to Virus, props to Goop, both them with the double 6 star. So we're gonna get into some of the new update stuff because unfortunately, again, I do not have any of the footage. So we got the heroes back, the Kings to 39. We're pushing them to 40, which will be able to drop down right after this war that is taking place tonight and tomorrow. So we got ourselves back up into the Legendary League pretty quick, practicing the air raids. Now a bunch of new stuff came out for sure. I'm sure if you guys are watching this, you've already know more about it than I do, but new air defense and basically balance changes, mainly buffs. There's a buff to the P.E.K.K.A, a buff to the Miner, a buff to the Witches. So this episode, let's talk about episode. We're going to get into the episode right now, and we are going to show those new troops in action. We're just going to kind of go back to some standard old school go wee style and some different things like that. But this guy right here, he decides to try to come and get my loot and get my stars, try to take me out of the Legendaries League. So as he slides up in here and we can check how the Jersey base does, we'll just go ahead and chit chat about this update. The update coming out that is just buffing a bunch of troops. Look at that fail on the freeze, but buffing a bunch of troops for us to get our ground attack back on. The air defenses will slow down all those air 3 stars that have been taking place. I do think 2-star will still be pretty prevalent because a lot of the attacks for air is still like removing the air defenses quickly with either heroes or hogs or things like that. So I think you'll be able to utilize the balloons, which was cool. I don't think they stole them away, but they're definitely not going to be the effective troop. Now they buffed the hogs as well, so we're not going to get into the hogs just yet. Actually, the hogs are one of those troops that I'm going to have to upgrade twice, so I think that's going to be the most dominant style that comes back into play in the long run. But then again, I'm wrong a lot, man. I'm all over the place sometimes with this game, but I gotta make my predictions. I think the hogs will be the biggest benefit of this most recent update, just because of how many people I think don't use hogs at Town Hall 11, and that's the way they like to play the game. They like to make you go for the thing no one else is doing. So that's what I'm thinking is gonna take place. But before that, I want to see if we get back into the ground and pound style through the go wee or go wipes, or is there an alternative to getting to the middle with maybe say some miners or something? So we're just gonna jump into some attacks, man. We're gonna go ahead and do our best to bring some knowledge to the game, see what we can accomplish here. Now this is the raid that I was running nonstop before my king was down, but because my king was down, I had to go ahead and change up my composition. Now he's back, and now we need to learn the attacking strategies all over again, because a week of not using one definitely changes your whole brain, changes your mindset about it. So we're going to go ahead and try to funnel our heroes inside, take out the queen, possibly even get to that air defense. I went in the wrong chamber. I think we could have taken care of the queen by going into the left one, but nonetheless, we bring her down. We're going to go ahead, push in as far as we can. If I don't get a really good funnel and get as much as I want, I just try to just focus on taking out some defenses to create a better balloon funnel. That is the big thing that makes this raid work so well, is being able to funnel your balloon. Now these guys had spread out their archer towers. Look how many archer towers in a row here, kind of crazy. So we're going to burn a haste to kind of take that outside one down faster, and we weren't able to get to that bottom one, and that one's going to end up being a big problem in the long run, taking down the troops from long distance. But we're going to go ahead, run our balloon wave, get down our lava hounds. Now just from watching these replays, I remember what I was doing. I was actually holding on to my clan castle a little bit longer and then floating the lava hound with that balloon, and then using the clone spell there instead of it in the middle, kind of creating 3 separate large armies with the balloons. That's kind of the loon raid wave that I kind of ride to the 3-star, but it hasn't been working well. So I think we're going to switch it all up, man. They go ahead and send out this little update. Let me know what you guys think about it, because it's funny that the updates over the past, I want to say, year, definitely at least a year since Town Hall 11 came out, has mainly been directed towards Town Hall 11s, which is wild because they're really taking care of the top of the game, which is interesting. Are you guys upset about that? Are they not doing enough for the Town Hall 9s and the Town Hall 8s? Every time an update comes out, it's basically for the top of the game. Makes me wonder where everybody sits inside the game. So let me know where you guys are at. Town Hall 9s, Town Hall 10s, and 11s. Go ahead and throw up what you is, because we need to figure out which raid types to focus on. That's what I want to do. I want to think about what raid types to focus on for the Town Hall 11 attacks. So if there's any, I can't talk today, if there are any Town Hall 11s in the room, holla at cha boy. Look at the little dragon taking down the Town Hall with the little minions, or pups rather, little pups, little pee and fire all over the building, taking it down. But we're gonna jump into the new raids that I was messing around with. I kind of just molded stuff off of old styles, but like not at all, because now that I think about it, you used a lot of jump spells, and the tank troops needed to hold their health a lot better than they used to. And that was the thing that I noticed that's not happening. The golem is still not strong enough to keep everything alive for the entire portion of the raid. They begin to get fried up quick. I think that's why the bowlers became so important in Clash of Clans, is because they can move along well through the base with the healers. That keeps them alive. But all the other smaller troops, they die immediately unless the tanking troop can make it through at least half the raid. So we're just gonna go ahead and stack up every one of the miners and go for a good old-fashioned miner kill. The miners were one of those things that were just spam, roll your face on the iPad, put them all down as fast as possible, get them to funnel into the middle. Now, in this raid in particular, I should have held on to like 5 or 6 of them, but there are so many miners. I forgot what it's like to raid with these guys. You get lost so quickly. They just vaporize everything as they go around, and then we went ahead and raged them. And the big thing that I kept forgetting about when messing around with these new raids is my warden. I left him on air. I'm constantly just leaving the dude on air, and he dies instantly with anything that's like an air mine or bombs. He just sucks them all up to his face and he's dead. But the miners wrapped around this base pretty well. I'm thinking that there could be some kind of a miner hog thing happening, because the miners definitely tank well when there's a lot of them and there's a bunch still alive. So if you threw some hogs in, or even some balloons, man, there could be a crazy algorithm out there to this army type that's going to be getting developed over the next couple weeks. I want to see if we can do some fun and fancy attacks. I'm going to go ahead and just mess around with all sorts of designs, and I'm not going to do the meta pushing. I'm just going to kind of mess around with different armies, but we would have had it, man. I think even a balloon, not a balloon, even a baby dragon, we could have just floated to the middle right from the bottom. So definitely excited about the miners. I'm excited. That was a good crash test, just grabbing an old style and just going for it and seeing what happens. Now, the next style that we're going to mess around with is going to be just a traditional, just witches, golems, some wizards, just a good old-fashioned go wee wee style, and just crush into the base. Now, I didn't use the quakes, which I'm thinking it would work a lot better if you did use the quakes and put them on the outside. No, I do have the quakes in this one. I do have the quakes in this one. See, I get confused sometimes because we try lots of different little designs and things. So we'll see. We're gonna push in to the base, and I wasn't as happy with the results for the witches. I'm not sure what they did to them that totally tanked their character. Like, they were the best troop in the game, taking the #1 spot, used for war and everything. I mean, they were the witches. They were crazy. The skeletons themselves need to still blow up all the bombs. That was what the best thing about them was. They'd allow all the bombs in front of them to get it blown up, all the traps fly up the air and what have you. But check this out. We are going to go wee wee style. Man, it's been a year or so since I've put this army together. Very first raid. Look at all the loot. Oh, if only. It does terrible, guys. Watch. I mean, this is a fully maxed out base, but let's go. Let's bring it. We're going to use the earthquake spells to get all the way into the core. It's just a very small opening. I think that's the problem. I think if the earthquake could be a little bit bigger, we would have had a chance there. So we're going to go ahead and get our golems in. Now, they split up, and that's what we want for sure. So we're going to have to blow open the right-hand side. The big thing with golem raids is you want to be able to spread it out. You don't want it to get all bunched up into one area, and that's how they tend to die off. And that's kind of what happens here. Now watch, the heroes actually go inside the wall, then they turn around and walk back out. Don't know why that happened, but it crushed the raid. That and me leaving the warden in air again definitely didn't help out. So we get a pretty decent spread, but the troops themselves just weren't strong enough to get into the town hall and bring it down like the go wee wee used to be. That's like a tongue twister for sure, and also very upsetting for this raid. For us, guys, little beards, we're gonna drop a bunch of trophies, but doesn't matter. We're not gonna care about our trophies this season. We are going to try to stay in the legends, but we're not going to sacrifice that for discovering new attack strategies. I feel like I haven't just practiced new attack strategies and messed around with troops and thought about my own compositions and stuff. So I'm going to get back into that. I'm going to mess around with that. I was always very proud of the way I designed my armies through the whole game, but recently I think I've relied a little bit too much on other people's theories and concepts. So we're going to get back into it ourselves and see what we can accomplish. It'll be interesting to see how base designs change though as more and more troops get used through this whole update, and I'm kind of excited about it. We were a little bit into the miners. I did run another raid and failed pretty miserably at that one, but I used less miners. So there's some things to be worked. There are some things to be figured out, and we're gonna go ahead and get that done for y'all homies. This is the one right here, 36 miners and 5 bowlers, and this did not work well. My goal was to try to get the bowlers in like a little mini kill squad, but you know, it's really tough to get a tiny group of troops in to be effective, and you needed so much attention for spells when you do that, and the miner raid needs all of its spells. It was a mass raid. It was a non-stop one troop, just worry about all the spells. That's what makes mass raids so good, is when you're just focusing on the spells. So when you got to split the spells up, you need to come up with a different concept for your army, and that's the deal, man. That's what we're gonna get into. That's what we're gonna rock and roll with. We're gonna learn some new raid types and some styles with this new update. But Lord Beardos, thanks for hanging out today. Y'all too good to me. Peace.